now being recorded. Am I audible, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Assalamualaikum everyone. I hope you're all doing great and excited to be a part of today's session. On behalf of Biotech Squad, in collaboration with World of Biotech, I warmly welcome you all in another session of Biotech Squad Scholarship Series. I am Fatima Rashid, Operational Lead at Biotech Squad. और आज का सेशन हमारे लिए बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है because today we are talking about fully funded scholarship in Hong Kong. As someone truly said, right information at the right time can change the direction of your life. And today's session is exactly about that direction and clarity. आज का सेशन हमारे लिए क्यों मैटर है क्योंकि बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स ऐसे होते हैं जिनके पास टैलेंट होता है, पीजीपी होती है और लेकिन उनको कंफ्यूजन होती है कि स्कॉलरशिप कैसे मिलती है, यूनिवर्सिटी की सिलेक्शन प्रोसेस कैसे होती है और रिसर्च बेस्ड प्रोग्राम्स का क्या स्कोप है। तो अगर आप ये क्वेश्चंस आप सब लोगों के माइंड में है तो आज का सेशन इसी चीज़ के हवाले से है। हमारा आज का सेशन में हम लोग फुली फंडेड स्कॉलरशिप हांगकांग में जो होती है उनके हवाले से हमारे स्पीकर या गेस्ट एड्रेस करेंगे और हमारे आज के गेस्ट हैं मिस्टर आमिर खान, अ डॉक्टोरल पीएचडी स्टूडेंट इन एनवायरमेंटल इंजीनियरिंग एट द हांगकांग पॉलिटेक्निक यूनिवर्सिटी. He holds a strong academic background with BS and MS in electrical engineering, and his experience is in water and wastewater management, and his practical exposure to industrial scale treatment and plant design. And currently his PhD research focus on converting biomass into sustainable aviation fuel. And in simple words, he is working at the intersection of research, sustainability, and the real world impact. And that's what makes his journey extremely valuable for our audience today. Before we begin, a few quick guidelines. Please keep your microphones muted and you can drop your questions in the chat and we will have a detailed question and answer session. So don't hesitate to ask. एंड आज का सेशन में आप समझेंगे कि हांगकांग में फुली फंडेड स्कॉलरशिप्स को हम कैसे अवेल कर सकते हैं. So without taking more time, I would like to invite Mr. Aamir Khan to share his insights, experience, and guidance with us. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Fatma, for the very kind introduction. And Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, and good evening, everyone. Today, I'm going to talk about the higher education opportunities in Hong Kong, and I have prepared a complete guide to as like how to get the postgraduate admissions in Hong Kong with a fully funded scholarship. So I guess you people must know why Hong Kong is important, because it is one of Asia's top-notch education hub. For example, in Hong Kong, if we talk about the universities, later I will be sharing details as well. So these are one of the top universities, top ranked QS universities in Hong Kong. So just like the host already introduced me, that I am Amir Khan, and currently I'm doing PhD in environmental engineering and science at the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. So before going into the details, I would like to thank the Biotech Squad because these kind of opportunities are very important because we have recently received several emails from students all over from Pakistan, and looking at their email structure and the type of email that they write. So it is very necessary to work on such kind of skills like how to draft emails and specifically how to analyze your data. So these kind of skills are very important, which I will be discussing more in detail in the further slides. So, sorry. These are the brief contents of this presentation. First, I will be talking about why coming to Hong Kong, or why Hong Kong is important. Then the universities of Hong Kong, different kind of scholarships that Hong Kong government offers, how to apply for these scholarships, what are the various tuition and application fees associated with the admission procedure, and then accommodation, and finally some opportunities after you graduate from Hong Kong University. So here is a brief introduction about myself. So I am currently doing PhD in Environmental Engineering and Science at the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. Earlier, I have done my master's and bachelor's in Environmental Engineering from National University of Sciences and Technology, Islamabad. And before that, I did my secondary and higher secondary from Army Public School, Mardan. Besides that, I am also a lab engineer and visiting lecturer at the National University of Sciences and Technology, and I'm currently on study leave to pursue higher education, which means I need to go back to join the university. Okay, so coming towards Hong Kong, a brief introduction about Hong Kong. So Hong Kong is a special administrative region of China, which means that it has its own administrative power. As you can see from the map, that it is a very small area, which is roughly around 1100 square kilometers. And the population of this, the population that is residing in this area is around 7.5 million, which makes it one of the densely populated areas all over the world. The currency that is being used in Hong Kong, it is Hong Kong dollars. And if we, because later I know most of the students will try to convert this currency into PKR. So just for your reference, I will tell you that one Hong Kong dollar is roughly equals to 36 Pakistani rupees. Next, you can see from the pictures that Hong Kong is one of the most vibrant cities all over the world, I would say. It is normally also known as the New York of Asia, and that's because of the highest number of skyscrapers that are in this city. So you can see from the photos that it is a vibrant city in terms of buildings, in terms of different kind of landscapes, and also. And also, if we talk about the public transport, so especially the public transport here is very best all over the world because they have the train system, then they have those very beautiful double-decker buses and the electric and the mini buses, which cover almost every spot and every point in all over the city. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to talk about is the universities that are here in Hong Kong. So you can see that there are basically 8 major universities, but I have only highlighted the top 6 universities. So you can see the first one is University of Hong Kong, which is QS ranked 11. The second one is Chinese University of Hong Kong, QS ranking 32. Then Hong Kong University of Science and Technology with QS ranking 44. Then Hong Kong Polytechnic University, in which I am studying, QS ranking 54. City University of Hong Kong, QS ranking 63. And then Hong Kong Baptist University, which is ranked 244. So you can see that out of the 8 major universities, the 5 are among the top 100 ranking. So that makes Hong Kong one of the top spots for your higher education or your postgraduate admissions. Now let's talk about the different research areas or the domains that these universities are offering. So I have also included a list of universities and the websites which you can browse through and see the detailed structure of different departments and the faculty members that are available. But because this specific seminar was mostly related to the biotech department or the biotech domain. So that's why I have underlined all the departments that are offering relevant degrees related to the life sciences or the biotechnology. So you can see from the list that all the universities offer different kind of degrees that are related to your biotechnology and the biological sciences fields. Now, let's move towards the different degree programs that are being offered here. So the first one is the PhD or the doctorate degree, which is roughly around 3 to 5 years, which includes 15 to 22 hours of your coursework. And this coursework depends on your past academic background. For example, if you are coming to Hong Kong with your master's degree, then your normal duration of PhD would be 3 years, and you need to complete 15 credit hours of coursework. But if you are coming here on the basis of your bachelor's degree, which is your 16 years of education, then you need to complete 22 hours of your coursework, and that will the degree duration would be the normal degree duration would be 4 years then, which is also extendable to 5 years depending on the set objectives and your current status. So after doctorate degree, there are two more degrees that are also postgraduate ones. The first one is taught postgraduate, and the second one is research postgraduate. So taught postgraduate is just like the MSY coursework, like in Pakistan, but the thing is that it is only a 1 year course, and you don't need to carry out any kind of research. You just need to complete some courses, and you will be awarded with this degree. And the next one is research postgraduate, which is equivalent to masters by research, and it is a 2 years program. So for this, you need to achieve at least first class BS honors degree so that you can get admitted to this program, which means that roughly 1 year would be your coursework and the remaining 1 year would be your research. And finally, bachelor's in engineering. So for bachelor's, the eligibility is either A levels with very distinctive grades or FSC with very high percentage. So both of the students can apply. Okay, now the most important part is the scholarships for masters and PhD. So, what makes Hong Kong, you can say, a top destination for your higher education? It is because of its scholarship schemes. Because if you can see that the Hong Kong PhD fellowship, it awards you a monthly stipend of around 28,400 per month. So if you convert it into Pakistani rupees, it is somewhere around 10 lakhs per month. So this is your monthly stipend, and your tuition fee will be completely waived off. Then you will also be awarded a travel allowance that is 14,200 per year, which means that you can attend an international conference each year using this amount. So if you have a 4 year program, so that means that you can go to 4 different countries each year with different conferences. Besides that amount, there is also cash award for for the first year. You would be given 40,000 Hong Kong dollars, and for the remaining subsequent years, you will be awarded 20,000 Hong Kong dollars. So I have already mentioned that you can just simply multiply it with 36, and you can get the amount that will be awarded in Pakistani rupees. So this is one of the prestigious scholarship and the top scholarship in Hong Kong. After the Hong Kong PhD fellowship, then the second one is presidential PhD fellowship. So this one is also just like the Hong Kong PhD fellowship. There is a very small change in the monthly stipend. The remaining things are the same. But in order to get this scholarship, you must get an offer letter from a QS top 50 ranked university, just like I have mentioned it. So basically what you need to do is that you need to like get admission in one of the top 50 ranked QS ranked university. Once you have the admission letter, and of definitely like fully sponsored admission letter, then you can use that admission letter to apply for admission in Hong Kong, and Hong Kong will provide you the presidential PhD fellowship. So you don't need to go through all the remaining process or the interview process. Only that selection letter or your offer letter will grant you this presidential PhD fellowship. So this is also the same, like maybe around 10 lakh per month of monthly stipend, and then cash awards also 40,000 and 20,000 each year. After these two scholarships, the third one and the most common one is the research postgraduate scholarship or studentship, in which you are being provided a monthly stipend of 19,200 per month, which is roughly around 7 lakhs per month. But the only problem in this scholarship is that you also need to pay your tuition fee, because you can see in the first two scholarship, there was a tuition fee waiver. So you need to pay your tuition fee, and then the university will reimburse that whole amount to you. But in this RPG scholarships, we call it RPG Research Postgraduate Scholarships. So in these scholarships, you need to pay the tuition fee by yourself. So I will also mention the tuition fee and the complete breakdown. For example, if you are able to get this scholarship, how can you manage your finances? So in this scholarship, you are being provided a travel allowance of 25,000 Hong Kong dollars, which means that in your degree, your whole degree duration, you can at least go to two countries for different kind of conferences. The last one, which normally you cannot find on the websites, is the Belt and Road Scholarship. So this scholarship only provides tuition fee waiver for research postgraduate students. So if you are being selected for this RPG scholarship, that is which provides you 19,200 per month. So in this case, for example, when you are selected, and then the department will shortlist your name for this Belt and Road Scholarship. And if you are lucky enough and you get this scholarship, so the tuition fee will be waived off. So you can see that for RPG students, if you get the Belt and Road, then you don't need to pay your tuition fee. But if you don't get the Belt and Road, you need to pay your tuition fee. Okay, now coming towards the application procedure and the timeline. So basically, each year the application starts in by 1st September and the deadline is 1st December. So normally, what is the flow or the procedure that before 1st September you need to identify potential supervisors. You need to browse through the websites and identify your potential supervisors. Then you need to write emails to those professors or those supervisors to show your interest in joining their group as research assistant or master's or PhD. Later, I will also share some details like how to draft email to professors. Then, after you get a reply from the supervisor, he will direct you to draft a research proposal. So you need to work with him and him or her, and they will guide you how to write the research proposal. After that, once the application starts, then you need to complete the Hong Kong PhD fellowship application online, and they will give you a reference number. So using that reference number, then you need to complete the university application, and then your application is complete. Then you need to wait for the interview and final selection calls, etc. So after that, you need to prepare for your interview. In your interview, normally the questions that are being asked are regarding your research background, your analytical skills, and your future interests, just like you have mentioned in your research proposal. And finally, if you are lucky enough to get selected for any of the scholarship, then you need to pay a caution money, which is around 5,000 Hong Kong dollars. That is basically like confirmation that you are coming to Hong Kong, and then acceptance of offers and visa processing. So this whole process, I have also mentioned the timeline. So after 1st December, the application deadline is when passed. Then from January to May, the interviews and the offers are dispatched to the students. Then from June to August, this is the enrollment period and documents verification and visa processing. And finally, in September, the semester starts. So there are two important things that I need to mention over here. I don't know about the current students, but when we were there and doing our bachelor's, we didn't know that we can also apply for a PhD based on our bachelor's degree. Like we were thinking that we need to go through the whole process for bachelor's, then master's, and then PhD. But that is not the case. You can also apply for PhD degree based on your bachelor's degree. The only difference is that your coursework would be a bit higher than the master's one. Just like I mentioned in my previous slides, that in that case, you just need to appear for 2 or 3 more courses. That's it. And the second thing that I need to mention here is there is direct PhD approach or through a research assistant. So basically, what is the difference is that direct PhD means this whole procedure that I have mentioned over here, that you identify some supervisor and then you directly submit your application to the university and the Hong Kong PhD fellowship portal. But in case if you are not lucky enough to get a PhD or a master's degree admission. Even then you can come to Hong Kong, and the route is through a research assistant. For example, if the target supervisor tells you that he don't have any space currently, or he don't have any current opening right now, so what you can do is that you can ask him or her that if you can join their team as a research assistant, which is relatively easily to join. So you can come or join their team as research assistant, maybe work for 6 to 7 months, develop your skills, and then you can start your PhD under his or her supervision. Okay, so this is the most important part of this presentation, like how to approach supervisors. And why I have added this slide is because recently we have received a lot of emails from Pakistani students. And whenever my supervisor receives any email, so he just directly sends that to me and asks me to evaluate the students. But looking to those emails, like even I don't want to reply to those emails, so how would he reply? So the reason is that the email is so poorly drafted that like you don't even want to see that email. So that's why I have mentioned some suggestions that you can use to draft your email. So basically what you need to do is, in your email text body, in the first para, introduce yourself, your university, like maybe mention the top ranked university or the top ranked subject ranked university in your country or in your region. And then also you need to mention your ranking. This is the most important thing that the Hong Kong professors look in the emails. For example, if you are a top ranked student, maybe top 2% or top 5%, you have higher chances of selection. So you need to mention this thing in your email bodies. The second para that you should mention is show interest in joining their research group by citing their recent literature. Don't like directly start writing random emails to professors. What you need to do is first, if you select a professor that is related to your field, like go to his profile and maybe study his recent 2 to 3 papers and go to their conclusion and recommendation sections. And based on those recommendations, you can devise your interest, or you can like shape your interest to best match their field. So that will increase your chances of selection. And in the final para, mention your research background and skills that make you competent enough for selection. And basically, by these skills, I am talking about if you have any kind of administrative skills and analytical skills. So these are the most important skills that you need to mention in your email. And then these 4 points, so don't ever use these kind of, or these, don't ever repeat these problems or these mistakes in your emails. The first one is, don't just use please find the attached file for PhD application, because literally I have received several emails, just like I told that my supervisor had forwarded me those emails. And what the students do is they just attach their CV, and in the email body they write, please attach the file, please find the attached file. So this is a very unprofessional way of approaching supervisors. You must like draft a proper email to the professors. Only then you will be able to receive their response. The second thing is long and extensive emails. The teachers and the professors are very busy, so they cannot go through such long and extensive emails. So you need to keep it very concise and to the point. The third thing is emails beyond official hours. So basically, what happens is that when you email a professor, maybe in the night time, so there are a lot of emails. The professors are receiving hundreds of emails by every day. So if there are a lot of emails, your email might get skipped from his mind or from his glance. So what you need to do is that see in whichever country, I'm not just talking about Hong Kong, if you are applying to other countries as well. So just see that you can just like schedule your email if you are like not available in those hours. So you can also schedule your emails so that the emails is received in the official hours, because in that case when they are sitting in their official spaces and then the email pops up. So there is a very high or likely chances that they will open and see the whole email. And the last thing is never email multiple supervisors from the same department. This is another big problem that most of the students repeat, that they select a lot of supervisors, all the target supervisors, and they just send single email to them. So for this, I would request you to highlight or like shortlist different supervisors, and you need to, whenever you are writing an email to that professor, you need to study their research area and modify your email body, your CV, and your statement of purpose so as to match his research area. For example, I am an environmental engineer. So, for example, I am giving you two research domains. If I'm approaching a supervisor who is expert in wastewater treatment, so I will reshape my CV and my statement of purpose to match his research area. But if I'm writing to a professor who is working on biofuels, for example, so I will again revise my CV, all the academic experience and analytical skills so as I can match his domain. So that's the most important thing that you need to observe or you need to follow when writing emails to professors. Another thing is CV writing. CV writing, and also I will at this point I remember that most of the students, they are quite weak in the data analysis tools. For example, Excel or Origin or GNU plot. So I don't know whatever softwares you are using for data analysis, but I would advise or I would suggest all the students to take these Excel courses so as you can expert or you can be expert of those skills. You can master those skills. Only then you will be able to better present your data, because if in your thesis, like for example, if you are writing an email to a professor and he replies you and you like he asks you to send your thesis to him, and when you send your thesis and it contains very poorly drafted graphs, so that will put a very bad impression on his mind. So that's why you need to come up with those skills and you need to learn those skills very efficiently. So talking about the CV, so in your CV, that should be a professional 2 to 3 pages CV with proper sections like academic background, research experience, analytical skills, research interest, and extracurricular activities showing your leadership and management skills. And just like I mentioned, for example, if you are sending your CV to a professor, so you must first look into his background, from which background he is, what are his expertise, and you need to mention all those skills in your CV so as to match his research area. Finally, statement of purpose. This is also a bit, you can say, a detailed version of the email body that I have mentioned earlier. So in the first para, you need to introduce yourself and your academic background. In the second para, introduce your research area, state the problem statement, and how you come up with ideas and solutions to address those problems. For example, in your research, in your final year research project, uh, clearly mention that these were the problem statement that you have highlighted and why you have selected those problems or those specific research topic. And then how did you come up with the idea of solving that problem? Either it was from reading literature or it was from doing a lot of experiments. So you need to highlight those skills that made you come up with those ideas. In the third para, you need to show a strong interest in joining their research team by highlighting some recommendations from their recent publications, just like I mentioned earlier, and how you can help in achieving those objectives. So, and also mention your motivation to implement those ideas on a larger scale. So, this basically increases your chances of selection if you show your supervisors or your target supervisors that you are passionate enough to carry out this research. because a lot of students, they just want to pursue PhD because they cannot find any job in Pakistan. So that's why they just try to like maybe go for PhD. But that is a very big problem, because I know that is, I would say, the harsh reality, but you don't need to tell that to anyone. You need to show them that you are passionate enough to carry out this research, and then you need to like tell them that whether in Hong Kong or coming back to Pakistan, you will implement those ideas on a larger scale. And finally, highlight the administrative and analytical skills that make you a preferred choice for their program. So these analytical skills are very important, specifically in engineering or the biological sciences fields, because if you know how to operate the advanced and high-tech instruments, there are very likely chances that you will get selected for the programs. Okay, so now coming towards the application requirements. So what you need to do is for your PhD degree, if you are applying for PhD, so both your master's and BS degrees plus the transcripts, they need to be verified from your university as well as HEC. So this should be your top priority. Then, if you have IELTS score, that is well enough. But even if you don't have IELTS or TOEFL, you can still go for English proficiency certificate, because in Hong Kong universities, except for I guess University of Hong Kong, all the remaining universities, they also rely on English proficiency certificate. So you can just like get English proficiency from your university, and you can apply on basis of that. Then you need at least 2 to 3 academic or professional references. So you need to maintain a very good behavior and a very good relation with your advisors and your professors, because I know once you leave the university, then normally they don't reply if you don't have a strong relations with them. So you need to keep a good contact with your professors and your teachers so that they can write you a very good and professional reference. Then academic CV, I have already talked about, and statement of purpose already discussed, and research plan, just like I mentioned, that when you approach your supervisor, and he will guide you to write a research plan. So all these things are required at the time of your application, once when you are filling the application form in the university admission portal. Finally, there are 5 to 6 more sections related to your research interests, your motivation, like why you want to come to Hong Kong, or why have you selected a specific university. For example, if you are applying to the Hong Kong Polytechnic University, so they would ask you that why you want to come to Hong Kong Polytechnic University. What has like made you like what has made your mind to join this university. Then research background and program suitability. So these are the questions that are majorly being asked. So later we can discuss these questions in detail as well. And when you apply to a university, you can approach me as well. So I will try my best to help you guys write those things. Okay, the next important thing is application visa and tuition fees. So the application fee for a PhD or master's application, it is normally around 300 to 500 Hong Kong dollars, which is compulsory. After your application, and if your application is successful, then you need to pay a visa fee that is 1,300 Hong Kong dollars. And once you get your visa and everything is sorted out, so once you arrive in Hong Kong, then you need to also pay your tuition fee. In all the scholarships, for example, even if you are being awarded the Hong Kong PhD fellowship, at least you first need to pay your tuition fee, and later they will reimburse that amount to you. So basically, what you need to do is you need to pay the tuition fee initially, and then that amount can be reimbursed from either the Belt and Road Scholarship or any other scholarship that you have acquired. So this 44,500 Hong Kong dollars per year, it is being split into 2 installments. So the first installment need to be submitted in September, and the second installment needs to be submitted in February. So this is your tuition fee in Hong Kong. And then the next one is accommodation fee. So if you are living in university hostels or university halls, the expense is a bit low. For example, maybe 2,000 to 2,500 Hong Kong dollars. But if you are living outside the university halls, so Hong Kong is a bit expensive. So this amount that I have mentioned, 2,000 to 5,000, this is for average living cost. If you want more facilities and high-rise buildings and posh areas, then this amount would definitely increase. So, and here is an estimated breakdown of your monthly charges. For example, if you get selected in your research postgraduate scholarship, just like I have mentioned earlier. So in that, you need to pay your tuition fee. So if you divide this 44,500 by 12, so this will give you 3710 Hong Kong dollars per month tuition fee. Accommodation, if we talk about an average accommodation, which is 5,000 Hong Kong dollars, your dining and meals, it is around 3,000 Hong Kong dollars, and traveling at most is 1,000. It doesn't exceed 1,000. Normally, our traveling is around 400 to 500 Hong Kong dollars, but I have kept it to the maximum. So if we talk about this scenario, still your expenses are 12,700 Hong Kong dollars. And if you are being awarded the lowest scholarship, which is 19,200, so still you have got roughly around 6,000 in your pocket, which means roughly uh, 2 lakh or 2.5 lakhs Pakistani rupees. And if you are lucky enough to get the PhD fellowship, then you have around 6.5 to 7 lakhs per month savings. Okay, those were the scholarships and the amounts for the higher or the postgraduate admission, and these are some of the details regarding your bachelor's. For example, if you have your juniors that want to come to Hong Kong for their bachelor studies, so in bachelor's, the application fee is around 500 to 600 Hong Kong dollars. The tuition fee, it is a bit expensive, 200,000 to 250,000 per year, and the accommodation is cheaper than the postgraduate admissions because in bachelors you have to share your room with maybe 2 to 3 more persons. That's why the accommodation fee is lower than those ones. And in bachelor's, there are two different kind of scholarships that you can get. The first one is for A levels. If you have done A levels, then you can get a full tuition fee waiver, but this depends on your grades and the amount of applications that are being received. Besides your tuition fee waiver, you will also be provided a stipend of 5,000 to 6,000 per month. So if you remove your 2,000 to 2,500 the meals and the dining charges, still you will be having 2,000 to 3,000 in your pocket as your savings. So that is for the bachelor's. And you will also be awarded an exchange scholarship for 5 to 6 months, in which you can go to any other country, top ranked university, and gain some more insights about your area or your field. Then the second category is scholarship for other qualifications. By other qualifications, normally they mean just like in Pakistan, we have the HSSC or the FSC. So if you have very good grades in your FSC, then you will have also have full tuition fee waiver and a stipend of around 4,000 to 5,000 per month. So it is a bit lower than that provided for the A levels, but still the finances are manageable if you are among the maybe top 2% or 3% of your class. Okay, so those were all the details about the scholarships. Now coming towards the residence halls, these are some pictures that I have taken from on the left. These are the hostels from the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. So this is what their student halls look like, and on the right, this is the university halls for the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. So I also lived in these halls in my first year. And then, okay, regarding the residence halls, there is an important thing that your for the first year of your admission or your study, the residence hall is guaranteed. Like you will, there is no need to worry. For the first year, you will have guaranteed accommodation inside your university halls. But after that 1 year, there is no guarantee that your stay would be extended. So, which means that you might need to move out and seek some accommodation outside. But no need to worry because there are a lot of Pakistani students and there is a very huge Pakistani community that is residing here in Hong Kong, and you can easily find shared accommodations and you can make friends and then move out together. That is also an option. Okay, now another important thing is halal friendly dining. So, because in some of the countries we might find finding halal food very difficult, but in Hong Kong that is not the case. In Hong Kong, you can very easily find halal friendly dining because there are literally a lot of Pakistani shops and what we call dhabas that serve very delicious and tasty food. So you can see from these pictures that I have mentioned some of the top Pakistani restaurants that are being visited by students for their dining. And also, there is a very big mosque in the center of the city in a very busy area. So there is no need to worry about the religious activities as well because Hong Kong is a very free city. You can do whatever you want. So this is one of our biggest Jamia Masjid, and there are, I guess, 4 or 5 more masjids in Hong Kong. Okay, so now coming towards the last slide, which is the opportunities during your education and after your education. So the most important or the first one is the international conferences, which I also mentioned earlier that during your PhD studies, you will have the opportunity to go for maybe 2 or 3 international conferences in different countries of the world. So which gives you a very good opportunity to explore the world and maybe get insights about your research areas and meet different peoples and make friends and collaborations. The second one is exchange program, which is for bachelors, also for PhD students that you can go to any top ranked university, which is I guess in top 50 ranked university, and you can get fully sponsored your stay for 6 months in that university. Then the third one is career fairs. So each year in Hong Kong, there are almost 70 to 80 different companies that are coming to different universities and they hire students. So basically, their hiring ratio is quite high because I have been part of some of the career fairs myself. And I have received some replies from the employers as well. So the next thing is Hong Kong Science Park. This is your top, and I would say if you are not selected in your career fair, so this is your last hope and the top hope as well. Because Hong Kong Science Park, it is home to around 2,600 tech enterprises and companies from 25 different countries and regions. So I have seen a lot of my seniors who have graduated from here. So they very easily get hired in any of those companies. So there is no you don't need to worry about your future or your job perspectives. And finally, the most important thing is that most of Pakistani students, we want to change our nationality and we want to switch to a more established country. We need to change our passport. So Hong Kong provides one of the best option for that because if you come to Hong Kong for maybe your undergrad or your PhD, so that duration is around 4 to 5 years. For example, for PhD, you need to be here for 5 years for your whole PhD program. And after you graduate from Hong Kong, so the Hong Kong government gives you a visa of for 2 years that is known as IANG visa, which is a job hunt or job search visa. So which means that 5 years in your PhD, and then later you have already got 2 years of visa from the Hong Kong government. So which is collectively 7 years, and after 7 years, you can apply for PR and change your passport to the Hong Kong passport. So that is all from my side regarding all the opportunities. So I have also provided the important links over here. So the first one is the Hong Kong PhD Fellowship. Uh, you can just click this link and browse. All the steps are also mentioned over there, and the remaining are the different universities, so you can directly navigate through these universities, departments, and professors. So I have a small suggestion regarding if you are planning to apply for Hong Kong PhD program. So basically what you need to do is, for example, there are 8 universities. So what I would suggest is that you make a Word file or a text file of all these 8 universities, and then you highlight or mention the top professors that you are targeting in each file. For example, now you have 8 files, and for in all the 8 files, for example, you have write down the professor names or emails of 5 top professors. So you don't need to write emails to all of them at once. You need to write email to one of the professor from each university, and then you need to wait for maybe 8 to 10 days so that they might reply. If you don't get a reply in maybe 8 to 10 days, then you can again open all these 8 files and then go to the second number option that you have enlisted. So in this case, there is a very high chances that you will get selected. But just like I mentioned earlier, before writing email, you need to go to the profile of that professor, and you need to see their recent publications and their research area, and modify all your CV, SOP, and email body so that to match his criteria or his domain. So that's all from my side, and thank you so much for listening. And I have also provided my email ID and my LinkedIn account in case you don't get the chance to ask your questions here. So you can always contact me on my these contact details, and I will be happy to address your queries. So now I guess we will move to the QA session, and let me just first see the
बता
messages that we have received.
दूंगा वापस दूसरी लाइन को नहीं दूंगा ये मैंने बता दिया मेरे से
Okay, so I will first try to answer the questions that are being mentioned in the text one by one. And after these, then we can have maybe one-to-one session, and you can ask your questions then. Okay, please wait. I will just first try to answer all the questions that are in the text format in the text, and then we can further discuss the remaining questions. So the first question is, people say that direct PhD saves time. What's your take on it? Okay, so by direct PhD, if you are talking about after bachelor's direct PhD, that saves time because if you in Pakistan, for example, after BS, if you get admission in your master's program, so in most of the universities, because I have been in NUST and serving NUST for 7 years, and I have never seen someone graduating exactly in 2 years. The MS program is also extended to maybe 3 or 3.5 years. But if you directly go to PhD, like maybe abroad, so it will save you that 2.5 to 3 years. So I would say that if you have enough analytical skills in your bachelor's, you must go for direct PhD and skip your master's. But if you feel like that you don't have enough analytical skills, then you need to maybe apply for a master's degree first, and then grow your skills, develop your skills, and then maybe move to PhD program. Okay, so the next is RPG scholarship for masters or PhD? This is for both. This is for masters as well as for PhD. But the fellowship is only for PhD. So the first two scholarships, the Hong Kong PhD fellowship and the second one, which is the presidential fellowship, those are only for PhD. Do we need to draft a research proposal for a master's degree? That depends on your professor. when you approach your professor and he will guide you. For example, if he demands that you need to write a proposal, then you can write, otherwise you can just skip it. Okay, so the next is, what is the deadline, or we have to pay application fee, or master students have to send email the student as well? Okay, so I guess you are talking about the deadline and the application fee. So the application fee is must. Whether you are selected or not selected, you need to pay this application fee. Only then your application would be considered. So the deadline is, for example, 1st December is deadline for each university. So there is no application fee for fellowship application when you go to the RGC website, which I have mentioned in my previous slide. This is the first one. But for the remaining, if you are applying to a university, you need to pay application fee. Okay, so the next is, are the data analysis tools also important for qualitative or just quantitative? No, also for qualitative research, because for quantitative, you might use those skills, but for qualitative also, for example, if I'm talking about my own field, so we have a lot of analytical results that are very important and very minor concentrations, for example, GC and HPLC. So for that, you also need to develop your skills and draft your thesis and draft your, like, make your graphs or make your pictures effective enough, or they should be very catchy. For example, if someone reads through your thesis, your figures should be like such that it receives attention. So that's what I would say on that. What is the best time of starting application process, either during last year for BS degree or after the completion? I would suggest that this is okay. So Munib Khan is asking about this. So I would suggest that you start writing emails to professor right now, because it almost takes maybe 5 to 6 months during this whole process, the initial screening. For example, if you write to your professor, he will reply you that let's have a talk, and he will have a short interview with maybe 10 to 15 minutes. After that interview, he will send you some task that you need to complete this task. When you complete that task and send it to him, then he will evaluate you, and if you have like done well enough, then he will ask you to write a research proposal, and then the research proposal also will take maybe 1 or 2 months. So I guess you need to start right now approaching different professors. Can we apply now? So, okay, I have already answered that question. Then Najibullah is asking, I think the session is about securing a PhD scholarship in Hong Kong. However, many students here, including me, are trying to applying for a master's degree. Okay, so the thing is, even if you are trying for a master's degree, so the process is almost the same. For example, only the Hong Kong PhD fellowship is not for your what we can call for your masters, but the remaining scholarship and the remaining application procedure is the same. For example, you can also directly apply without approval from any supervisor, but the problem is that the selection chances are very low. Then if you have very effective or very catchy profile, like maybe 3.9 or 3.98 CGPA, and you have a gold medal or maybe another medal in your research studies, only then you can get what we can call a scholarship. Otherwise, there is very little chances for you to get selected. So that's why the process is the same for PhD or for MS. Okay, so is anyone from an English literature and linguistics background trying to apply for a master's degree abroad? I would love to connect and apply together. Okay, so this is for the other ones. Okay, so this is another one. Lark. Assalamu alaikum. I'm in college. Is anyone else? Okay, so this is not relevant. Then Uruj Faisal, kindly share the PPT. I guess the PPT would be shared by the host. Okay, so then Ravaha Mukhtar says, I have to apply for a PhD. Can I apply now? Yes, I have already mentioned that you can start your applications right now. Then another one is, okay, I wanted to ask if a session on the breadboard price should be possible. I like to write poems. Okay, I think this one is relevant to this one. Okay, so the last one is Rawaha Mukhtar says, when should I start emailing the relevant professors? I can apply for the scholarship only if I have acceptance. Well, you can also apply for the scholarship even if you don't have any acceptance letter. But the only problem is if you are not selected. For example, if you have your acceptance letter, then that means that your application is guaranteed. For example, if you have a confirmation letter from your professor, so if not in the Hong Kong PhD fellowship, so definitely you will be hired in the research postgraduate scholarship. But if you don't have confirmation from your professor, then it is totally up to your luck and your grades and your analytical skills, like how you have well prepared your application. All those questions that I have mentioned earlier, for example, these. So how well have you prepared these things, that will decide your fate then. Okay, so should I mention gold medal or CGPA in the email? Yes, you must mention your achievements. If you have like some very good achievement, for example, if you have a CGPA of maybe higher than 3.8, if your GPA is less than maybe 3.2 or 3.3, you don't need to mention it. But if you have a very good CGPA, you must mention it so that the professor knows that who is he evaluating. I have been asked by many people not to mention it in the email or any document. No, no. In Hong Kong specifically, because I have experience working with 3 or 4 professors here, and all of them, the first thing that they look into is their CGPA and their class ranking. For example, if you are among the top 2% or 5% of the students, you have a very higher chances of getting either directly admission, or you can get your RA position. Okay, so then Najibullah says, are there different analytical tools for the students of different majors? Uh, Specifically, I'm not sure about that, but these kind of analytical tools, I guess the BioSquad team, they have prepared more detailed sessions on how to analyze the data regarding the qualitative as well as the quantitative one. So I guess you should contact with them and they will provide you with better understanding. What is the best way to find relevant professors? The best way to find relevant professors is just like I mentioned, that you need to prepare 8. For example, if you are applying in Hong Kong, there are 8 major universities. Prepare 8 different files, and then in each university website, go to the faculty section or the academic staff or faculty section. They have mentioned it over there. And then you need to browse through each professor one by one and just see that what is their research area, what is their domain. And some of the professors, they have also mentioned it on their website that they have open positions available. So that is like a very good point. If you see some professors like this, you can directly start them emails. Okay, so the next one is, so as I am in college, do I have any relevance to emailing professors? Uh, if you are in college, that means you will be applying for a bachelor's degree, and in that case, you don't need to email professors. You just need to prepare your bachelor's application. Okay, thank you so much for the guidance. Okay, so now we are done with the text messages. Now let's see if we have any questions. If anyone wants to ask question directly.
Assalamu alaikum. Am I audible?
Gigi, you are audible.
So I have 2 questions from you. The first is, you have mentioned some sort of an offer letter for presidential fellowship. I missed the point. Where do we have to get that fellowship? The offer letter. So one is this thing. And the other thing is that I want to share my draft email with you, because I write to a number of professors and they do not reply me. Although I have a 4/4 GPA, I have recently graduated from NUST in environmental sciences, and I have my research interest in wastewater treatment and resource recovery and waste reduction. So I want to share my email with you that what I'm doing wrong in it. That's why they're not responding back to me.
Okay, so coming to your first point, just like you mentioned, for the presidential PhD fellowship, what you need to do is that you need to see the top 50 ranked QS ranked universities, the list, and if you are able to get admission over there, for example, we are talking about, let's say, I'm just giving you an example in China. The easiest I can find is China. For example, in China, they have Tsinghua University, which is among the top 50 ranked university. I guess the ranking is 13th or 14th. So what you need to do is apply to that university, and if you are able to get admission over there, which is a fully sponsored admission, then you can use that admission letter and you can apply in a Hong Kong university, any university from these 8 universities. And when you upload that letter, that selection letter from Tsinghua University, they will automatically give you this presidential PhD fellowship.
Okay, so this
So
means that I can
yeah.
study in that Tsinghua University, but
No,
the point is that I have
no,
to
no, no,
contact the student.
no. You will not be studying in Tsinghua University. That is only for application purpose. For
Oh, I
example,
get it.
yes,
Okay.
you will apply to Tsinghua, you will get admission, you will secure admission over there, but then you will not join their program. You will just use that confirmation letter or your
I
admission
get
letter
it.
to apply to get admission in Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
Yes,
It makes sense.
yes,
Now it makes sense. Thank you. And how
yes.
about the other one? Can I email you that like I copy the material because I normally attach my CV with my email and I write a big email, but I do not hear back from the professors. They only reply that I am on leave, I am on sabbatical, I'm not requiring new students and blah blah blah. And I feel frustrating that having a good GPA and an achievement and even 2 chapters published and 1 paper in review, I'm not getting a response.
So, well, in that case, I think I have also mentioned my email, so you can send me an email, and then I will see what is basically going wrong because, like, I have also done my bachelor's and master's from IESC, and let's see if what are the uh, problems or what are the like maybe the shortcomings in that either in email or maybe in the CV. So because like if you have a good GPA and you have research background, then you must receive at least a positive response. But
Okay, thank
let's
you.
see,
Yeah.
we can discuss it
I'll
later.
write you an email. Thank you.
Yeah, sure, sure. Okay, so let's move to any other student if they have any queries.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Well,
Sir Najibullah here. Sir, I have a question. So my question may sound a bit irrelevant to the current discussion, but I need to ask this because it's very necessary for me to ask here. So my question is that, sir, I graduated with a degree in English literature and linguistics as a gold medalist, and I'm also like an internationally published researcher. I published paper in Q1 ranked journal. So the thing is like my professors or all the people around me, they advise me to pursue my master's degree from an English speaking country like Canada, Australia, New Zealand, US or UK, cause they told me like China or any other country where English is not their first language, it's not relevant to you, or your degree won't be valued when you come back to Pakistan. So what's your take on this, sir? Is it a valid point, or should I apply to each and everything that comes in my way?
well, in that case, I would first like to ask you, what are your future plans? Either you want to join academics or you want to maybe go in some other fields.
Sir, I want to be in academia in the future, like to be a lecturer or professor.
Okay. Okay, so in that case, if you are planning academia, so the first thing I would suggest you is don't just like I think you have also texted the messages, but in that case, I would suggest that you need to directly go for a PhD. That way, the first thing is it will save you your time, because if you go for a master's degree, if your ultimate goal is joining academia, so joining academia with a master's degree has no point. Because if you, after your master's, you come back to Pakistan and then join a university, you will be a lecturer, and then you cannot get promoted to assistant professor until you have a PhD. So then you need to go back to some other country and pursue your PhD. So I would suggest that you should first directly try for a PhD degree, because I guess in English literature you can get your PhD degree within 3 years, so or hardly 4 years. So in 4 years you can get your PhD and come back to Pakistan and join your academic institute, whatever you are targeting. The thing that you are asking about, for example, whether you should come to Hong Kong, China, or any other country, well, the mindset is whatever you have said, that is true. That US, Canada, or Europe, they have much more likelihood. Or, for example, in Pakistan, the mindset is that they value those universities or those countries very much. But if we talk about, if we compare China and Hong Kong, there is a lot of difference, because in China is a completely Chinese or the Mandarin speaking country. So in that you face a lot of difficulties even during your studies, because you need to learn Chinese in there. And also they have made Chinese mandatory. For example, in the first semester, or I guess first 2 semesters, you need to study the basic Chinese courses. But in Hong Kong, that is not the problem, because in Hong Kong, most of the faculty members, they are already foreign qualified. So there is like, you don't face any kind of difficulties in communicating with your research fellows or your supervisors. So the good thing about Hong Kong is, because in Hong Kong, the good point is that the universities are very good ranked universities, because when you are applying to a Pakistani university, what they normally see is, the first thing they look into in your CV is that from which university have you graduated. The first one is basically the country, and the second thing is from which university have you graduated, whether it is a top ranked university or not. And the third thing they see is your citations or your Google Scholar profile. So in Hong Kong, the good thing is that they have a lot of focus on publishing papers and getting more citations, because they are not focusing on publishing low level impact factor journals, because they get lower citations. So they always try, all the supervisors, all the professors, they try and they push you to publish high impact factor journals so that you can get more citations. So in Hong Kong, for example, if you get a degree from a top 100 ranked university, within top 100, I mean, and then you also have a good research profile, then there are very likely chances that you will get well selected in any university in Pakistan. Because like in Pakistan, I guess right now, I don't know about the linguistics, but in engineering and technology, one of the best is NUST University. And I have a lot of friends who have done their PhDs from Hong Kong, and they have went there and directly joined as assistant professors. So I think you should not just focus on the country, you should also keep in mind the remaining aspects like your research profile and the citations that you are getting.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, I have to extend this question. If I do a direct PhD, won't they, when I come back to Pakistan, won't they question the why didn't I did my master's? Because you know about the education system over there, they have to question each and everything. So if I don't have a master's degree and just a PhD, won't it be a problem for me securing, a job here in Pakistan?
No, they won't ask, because like in academia, your terminal qualification is what matters. They just look at your terminal qualification. What is your terminal qualification? So if you have a PhD degree, that means that you have been through the whole process. So I don't think that is going to be a problem in academia, because you just need to go. let me share with you an example, like why I'm not like suggesting masters if you are planning academia. I have wasted, you can say wasted, because I did my bachelor's in 2014 and then I joined NUST in 2015 as lab engineer. And then I started my master's, and then the master's went for almost 3 years. And then after those 3 years, I started to apply for PhD, and then all that COVID stuff and etc. So like I have graduated in 2014. Now it is 2026, and still like I am pursuing my PhD. So that's why like people of my age, they are already in academia if they have like the target of joining academia. So that's why if you are planning to join academic institutions, and specifically in even in Pakistan, you don't need to go for a master's degree. If you don't get a good PhD degree, then you can go for a master's degree, because like definitely something is better than nothing. But if you can directly get a PhD, that is far more better.
Thanks a million, sir. Thank you so much.
No problem. No problem. Okay.
Fatma, you are not audible.
So
Thank you
is
so much
there
for
any?
the valuable session. And you beautifully covered the scholarship pathways, university selection, research perspective, and the visa process. Thank you so much for this session.
No problem. No problem.
Okay, I would also like to thank World of Biotech for being a collaborator in this scholarship series. And this organization is led by a Ruth Hessel, and thank you so much for collaboration. Also, let me share an exciting announcement with you all. We are officially announced our collaborative workshop with BioSkills, and it is an 8-day practical training workshop on data analysis with Microsoft Excel, and it is designed specially for the students, researchers, professionals who want real job-ready data skills. And this is not just a theoretical session, this works in hands-on practical and structured form. And I would really like to announce that workshop. And you can check the details on our platforms on LinkedIn, Biotech Squad, and BioSkills. Thank you. Thank you for joining this session as well. Now I would, if Ms. Habiba wants to add anything, then
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Thank you so much, Fatma, for handling our session very well. Thank you so much, Sir Aamir, for joining. Allah Hafiz, everyone.
Okay. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.